Sometimes I find people who come to me and say, Father, I really admire you because of your dedication and your time you give to your people. And I said, well, it's nothing hard for me. That's my vocation. That really, it's not a burden. I actually admire you as a family. I admire you as a couple. I admire you in living out your vocation. And we both know, and we all know, that if you're truly living out your vocation, it's not hard. It's a blessing for you. And you find fulfillment in living out your vocation. And if it's true that life is a journey, I think the most adventurous journey in life is the one that family do. Every family does. A journey from myself to all, from I to we. You know, the couple, when they get married and there's a blessing for the engaged couple, the ritual said, you enter into the marriage as a single person to be a we, to be a communion of person. And so this journey is more adventurous because it calls us to move outside ourselves and join with someone else into life. John Paul II, who knew a lot about family and life, is the Pope that, when he was canonized, I was in St. Peter in Rome, and Pope Francis remembered him as the Pope of the family. He founded the John Paul Institute and many other things he did for family. He said, the great danger for family life in the midst of any society, let's see if this applies to us, in the midst of any society whose idols are pleasure, comfort, and independence, lies in the fact that people close their hearts and become selfish. John Paul II said, in societies where we have idols like pleasure, comfort, and independence, we, the family, faces these great trials of closing their hearts and be selfish. And I think then it's I don't know who started this, but it's a genius, the one who spelled out family in an interesting way. Family is, forget about me, I love you. Forget about me, I love you. This is a journey outside my selfishness. This is really what is very appropriate for today's feast as well, as we celebrate the Holy Family. You know, the Holy Family, we see Mary, Immaculate Conceived, we see baby Jesus, and we see Joseph chosen to be next to this, the Son of God and Mary. And of course, we don't want to set up models that are too hard to achieve, otherwise we really get discouraged, but they're more a protection for us. Something and somebody we can go to and call upon, because all of us here come from a family. You know, sometimes we say, I come from a Catholic family, I come from a family that is united, I come from a broken family, an unhealthy family, a loving family, a caring family. But too many times, I think, we put our focus on the adjective, and we forget there's a family. Holy Family, that's the call for all our families. And when we look at one another, when we see with admiration what works, we truly see and are looking for something that inspires us. A few weeks ago, we had first reconciliation for the kids at school, and it was beautiful to see family go together to reconciliation, the kid and parents. Sometimes I spend time in the adoration chapel downstairs and I see family getting in together, parents with kids, parents more enthusiastic of the resting time with the Lord, kids not always that happy to be there. And one of my friends, it's really sometimes a source of inspiration for me. He once told me, I do 2 holy hours a day. I spend an hour in front of the Blessed Sacrament, and I spend an hour with my wife. These are the 2 most important things I need in life. And I'm sure that every day I do that. So the holiness of our family, it's our call. And if you are holier, your family is holier. You are part of the family. So the more you're holy, the more your family is holy. And that's a good news. It's a news that despite our environment, despite where we come from, despite maybe unhealthy things we experienced, a lot is entrusted to us. Because if I'm holier, my family is holier. Mother Teresa, in her way of saying things very clearly and very wisely, she said once, if you want peace in the world, go home and love your family. If you want a peace in the world, go home and love your family. Don't blame on others. Start you. Start with yourself. And so we turn to us and say, what can I do to make my family holier? If I have, or if I am on social media, for example, how much people from my Facebook profile can say that I care for holiness? Or for my Twitter account? How much people, just looking at me and the way I dress, say, I care for holiness? Or, I'm sorry if you fall into this category, I don't want to judge anybody, but sometimes, we have our living rooms, and everything is geared toward the television. Television is the center of it. And maybe we watch a program, and we tell our kids, shh, gotta listen to what they're saying. So, whatever they understand is, whoever is in that box has something more important to say than our time together. And I guess there are some good programs on TV, I don't know, I don't have one, but I found very more interesting, and I rediscover how fun it is to play board games. Just gather with your family, your community at night, spend time together, have fun together, do something that is more interactive. The Holy Family, today, our feast is pointing us to that direction. Holiness for every family, starting from me. So the Holy Family, it's a call that awakens us. They are a good reminder to us, and they can protect us too. Every time we find ourselves into struggles, we can turn to them and pray. And so I want to conclude with a prayer, beautiful prayer that Pope Francis recited last year for the Feast of the Holy Family. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, in you we contemplate the splendor of true love. To you we turn with trust. Holy Family of Nazareth, grant that our families too may be places of communion and prayer, authentic schools of the gospel, and small domestic churches. Holy Family of Nazareth, may families never again experience violence, rejection, and division. May all who have been hurt or scandalized find ready comfort and healing. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, graciously hear our prayer.